It's sort of rain, sleet, snowing type of weirdness right now. Oh, seems to have suddenly slowed down. So I guess all my plans for everything I was going to do outside have kind of gone down. Go in there. Go in there. Good boy. It's his new doghouse we're building. He likes it. Got to put a roof on it still. That's why there's a tarp. And it looks like an Arabian person there from the desert. Oh, the sun's trying, but it's a pretty icky day. Have to find some inside stuff to do. Actually, what I want to do is I want to take all the trailer trees out and put them outside. It's all mud here this year. Ah! What just happened? Turned to snow. Yuck. So I went in to check the trailer trees, and I've been doing my best to keep watering them, although they've been frozen. Uh-oh, the door is open. That's not good. Anyway. Oops. Ugh. So, nothing. Well, the buds are swelling on my little guy here. And these guys got some yellow and some dropping needles. My blue spruce seems to be doing okay. Some yellowing, but not too bad. This guy seems a bit dry and brittle, but I think it lived. This, you can see the branches are all dried. I should have brought it inside the house the same time as I brought the wisteria in. You can see the branches are all dried out. I really hope something on it survives, though. These guys seem okay. This guy, I can't tell. I have no clue. It's like dramatically yellow. The pine seems okay. This guy seems alright. Have to do something with that one soon. Now these guys here, up here, they seem to be okay. The buds are swelling up on them and starting to see some action, but some of them down here, these little bottom branches that are still buried in the dirt, seem to have died. The needles are just dropping right off them. And they're still mostly frozen, so I'm not sure. Now, 2 of these are still going to go in the ground, and 1 will be a bonsai. I'll see what I'll do. This guy here is still fighting. I think he got even some buds broke here. Hard to tell with the window light in the background. But, yeah, I gotta repot these too. These ones were just, I didn't do anything. I just put them in different pots to try and help them out grow better. So this one for sure needs a repot very soon. Really hard to tell with these guys, but they're still mostly frozen, even though it's been plus temperatures in here. Yeah, but I'd like to take them all outside and put them in the rain. I think it'll help them. There's going to be a week of cold temperatures coming up. I don't think it'll bother them too much. I think they'll be better outside. I'll put them over here for now. Right, Mutt? Okay, despite this being the season it is and weird temperatures outside, these guys have been growing in the house. I know it's everything's all leafed out, but between the bugs and everything else, I'm just seeing more now, and I just washed these guys. But when they're all crammed in like this, I can't clean them properly. I can't go over them. I've been having to go over them. Wow. You can see. Let me see here if I can zoom you in. Zoomy! You can see all the bugs on there and underneath the leaves. Those are thrips. And I've got aphids on some of the other plants there, and I just did the soap and water with these guys yesterday, or 2 days ago now. All the ones downstairs are done. I'm not seeing any bugs downstairs, but these guys have been upstairs 2 days, so they must be a new infestation starting from the plants up here. So I think as I repot them, before I put them in new soil, I'll just take them and spray them again. It's really frustrating in the house, and I'm definitely going to do things differently next year again. I did things differently this year thinking it would make a difference, and I just ended up with different bugs. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But the bougainvilleas and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to have to leave outside longer, because they are really, really difficult to keep the bugs off of. And then everything else I'm just going to have to keep washing. Anyways, in order to keep the bugs off of these, I need to separate them, and so that they can get light, because you can see this one is blocking all the light from these. I still don't know what these are. I still think they might be birch trees. Everybody said that the seeds looked like birch seeds. This one's a maple for sure. These guys are growing nice. The cuttings, the parent plant, the creeping juniper, whatever it was I took the cuttings from, is like deep yellow. I don't know if it survived. And this one is an unknown, just sprouted in there. My other one that I had like this did not survive, and I'm thinking this is a fir tree. Yeah, so we're going to start. I was going to keep some of the moss, but I don't know now with all the bugs that are in here. Where should we start? Yes, we can start at the beginning. We'll start here. You guys seeing all that okay? Yeah, I hope so. Now, it's not ideal to be repotting a maple when it's already leafed out, but I don't want this tree to be crowded. I've got my big maple. All of these were started from seed at the same time, and there's a couple others leafed out, but one for sure is going to be a memorial tree for my father. These are the maples that grow outside the long-term care facility where he is. Oh yeah, there's big liverwort in here. Actually, this one cup here has liverwort in it, and I had no idea that liverwort actually flowers. You should see it in there. It's actually nice looking, but it's not something you want in the trees. I just love this moss. I wish I could get this moss to grow everywhere, this nice thin moss. I know the lighting is weird. Here, see if the phone light will. There. And it's like super thin and super nice looking moss. I might put it into some of the other pots. Whoa. So these will be staying indoors. These trees. So I'm not worrying too much about them. But they definitely need to be separated. There we go. All separated. I don't know if I'll do too much with the roots, with them being in leaf already. But let's see what we got down here anyway. And I'm going to put them in a little bit of a better soil. It's a nice little taproot on this one. Nice little taproot there. So I think what I might do is see who's here. I think it might be my neighbor driving around there. I'm going to, yeah, you guys can see that. I'm just going to nip it off to encourage the roots to grow higher, and we'll see what happens. Trying to decide where to nip it off. The roots all grow from one side or the other, not all the way around. I'm going to nip it off all the way back to here. Just like that. It's quite a lot of root taken off, but we'll see how it does. It's in full leaf already. So I'm going to put this aside here, and we'll take a look at this, whatever type of tree it is. Doesn't seem to have a taproot. It seems to only have surface roots. Interesting. Now there's one thick root and a bunch of thinner roots. So this big thick root here. See if I can turn the camera light on here. There we go. So this big thick root is probably like a, I don't know why it only grew surface roots, but that's probably the taproot there. So I'm just going to nip that back a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying not to yell into the camera there. There, cut it right back to there, and then leave everything else. Sounds like there's skidoos going. I have no idea what's going on up there. Okay, so I'm going to pause this momentarily, and I'm going to go and spray these trees down to get rid of the bugs. And I'll clean this up and we can repot them. Okay, they're all cleaned off. I wet the roots. They look pretty good now. They'll be much happier with no or less bugs on them. Craziness. All right, so I'm going to pot the birch into this pot here. I got my soil mix and I wet it. So I was having trouble with my azaleas, and Xavier put a video out. He's at the bonsai retreat, so he put a video out about it's one of his calendar videos, repotting and what type of soil and watering and all that kind of stuff. And recommended that they be watered mostly with rainwater. We haven't had all that much snow this year. Oopsie, fell on his face. So I did a bunch of reading online and found out that I can use my dehumidifier water in place of distilled water or rainwater. So that is exactly what I started doing. I started saving my dehumidifier water because we have 3 of them in the house. And on cold days they don't create a lot of water, but on warm days they definitely create a lot. And they already seem much happier, and it's only been a couple of days. So there's a whole bunch of new growth starting already, and it seems much happier without the well water. So there's one done. If anybody knows what these are, previous videos I showed the seeds and everything, and some people thought that they were birch. I don't even have anything to water them with, but the soil's really wet. So we'll put this one aside over here. And we will repot this little maple back into its original pot, because I think that's plenty big. And we'll see how it does. Hopefully it spurs some root growth. I have 2 that are, or 3 actually, that are still dormant. They haven't leafed out yet. They look like they're alive though. But they're not crispy or dehydrated looking. So I'm almost put my elbow in my tea. There we go. Cute little maple. Now I'm not sure what kind of maple. They're probably hybrid. There was a bunch of maple trees outside, but my big one looks looks like a Norway maple, I think they're called. The leaves turn like a maroon brown color in the summertime. Well, the big trees outside at where he's located anyway. So that's two. I guess we'll do this one next. And it might be the same thing. By the looks of the leaves, I might have to go and spray this one too. But you can see the different leaves on there. And you can see in this one the liverwort is just crazy in here. It even has flowers. See if I can pop this out of here and I'll show you. I didn't even know liverwort could be like this. Wow. One of them has roots all the way to the bottom. Here, I'll show you this liverwort. It's actually really beautiful for a horrible little plant. Isn't that neat? It's got some moss growing on it, but look at the little flowers it gets. Isn't that cool? Look at that one. Got a little flower. How can something so awful be so beautiful? Isn't that weird? Anyways, I'll be putting these into pots instead of cups. Just the drainage and everything is better. Wow, look at the roots on the liverwort. Isn't that crazy? That's nuts. Such a cool looking thing though. Wow. And that little spruce is doing pretty good. It's got branching and everything. Very sandy mix in here that I used. It must be the remnants of the cactus soil. When I start seeds, I reuse my soil. So it was probably a bunch of soil piled together that I reused. Some good roots going here. They're all tangled together. Sorry. There we go. Wow. This one's got some good roots, but I'll have to go and spray it. Now the bugs don't tend to bother the spruce or the pines or anything. This one's got some nice roots on it. There's a few white growing tips. Right down here, some white growing tips, but this super long root on this side, just gonna cut that back. Doesn't even really look alive, but I'll cut it back to where it's got all the little roots branching off there. That's probably all I'll do to this one. There's a white growing tip here too. Little white growing tip. See it? And these little seedlings. They're growing pretty well considering. So I'll pot this and then I'll go deal with that one. We'll pot. This one should be fine. Might have to get some more soil. Those lower roots probably won't be in the final design, but I mean, this is just a tiny little seedling. I'll let them grow up real nice and keep my favorite ones, and because they're native to here, I can start planting them around the edge of my property to rebuild the sound barrier. So that's that one done. So I'm gonna go and soap and water spray this one, and then we'll come back. Okie dokie. Put that in a small pot too. If I can get the small pots apart. There we go. Okay, so this one has a little bit of fine roots starting on one side and a big thick root on the other. So this is where most of the root is. I don't know how hard it's going to be on the tree. Oh, this one comes from farther back over here. Oh, look at that. Okay, we have, it branches into two here. Hang on, I'll untangle it and I'll show you. I can untangle it without breaking it. There we go. Okay. So it branches into two down there. But there's some fine roots farther up here. Don't mind my yucky finger. So I'll probably cut it just above that branching there. And we'll see what happens. I'm not too worried. These were free trees that seeded themselves in these pots. So I'm not super worried about it. Looks like there's lots of fine roots left after that. And the other thing I'll do is some of these leaves that aren't in the best health down here, I'm just gonna take those off. Took a few off before too. Might take this big one off just to take some of the consumption off of the roots so they don't have to work so hard. If that made any sense, consumption off of the roots. I don't know if that's a thing. Or if I'm just dribbling on. Okay. Oops. There we have it. Hopefully it does okay. I'll probably, ow, oh, geez, I keep banging my elbow off of everything. I'll keep taking pictures to try and find out what it is. But like I said, the seeds that I showed everybody were ID'd as birch. So we'll see. We shall see. Alright, last but not least, for this little repotting is this handful of cuttings and these two seedlings. Volunteer seedlings.